Oh, there.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you
Morning.
guys?
Good.
Good. I'm really close to this computer this morning. I'm like, whoa, good morning, shiny face. All right. How are you guys having a good week so far?
So far.
Pretty good. Lots of work.
Yeah. Awesome. Kelly, I think, Kelly, you're going to have twin executive offsprings this week.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's exciting.
That is exciting. I've started a new job, so I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Don't come rob my bank because I know exactly how to catch you.
How's your new job going? Did you start it yet? Not
Yeah.
yet.
I did this. I just started training this week, so it's mainly just a lot of onboarding and then sitting and doing online stuff and just watching everybody else handle money. But
Right.
So I'm kind of going, okay, let me just get going because it doesn't seem. I'm a better hands-on learner, but it'll be fine. So get a week of training in, trying to get the girls settled in.
Absolutely. Good deal. All right. Hey, Casey. All right.
She's on mute.
She's on mute, yeah. And she's probably driving.
Probably so.
Yeah. All right. How are you?
Sorry, I'm walking around. I'm listening.
All right. Awesome. All right. Good deal. We're going to go ahead and jump in and get started because I know that you guys have a lot to do today. And I am going to record these and hopefully get it upload it for future use if you guys need it. So if you need the recording, ask for it, if that makes sense. I don't think I'm going to post them anywhere, but I'm just going to keep them on my computer. Okay. I really want to dig in, and I know Lee has, I think, 2 more spots to fill, but I knew she'd be executive by Sunday, so I wanted her to go ahead and hop on and
I have more than that.
And what did you say?
What? 2? What?
Don't you only have 2 more
you're
executives? Do you only have 2 more consultants you need to finish?
No. Yeah, I have 2 more. If this happens, and then that happens, and that happens, then I only have 2 more.
Oh, I thought you had 8.
I don't know, but I mean, I will be by today.
Yeah, I was thinking you had 8.
Yeah, I think so.
And then,
I will by today. I will have 2.
Yeah. So I wanted you to go ahead and get on because I know, because next week I'm going to wish I would have started you this week. So we're just assuming and going forward. But
again, no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure there. I know. Kelsey's the same way on the team. Jessica, Kelly, Casey, and Lee are on the same challenge ship team. And Kelsey is on that team. And she just started working, we just started her training calls, I guess, 2 days ago. And I'm like, and Kelsey's going to be manager by Sunday. And she was like, Mom. And Lee goes, she had already been whining to me. And then Lee put a thing on there, no pressure. And Kelsey was like, right. So anyway, it's good. Okay. So I want you guys to be able to start off really, really on the right foot. And so with your executive, there's a couple of things I want to really talk about. And I think we're going to dig in. We're going to do some training. I think this is the first time in this company I've really done an executive training. Hey, Bonnie.
Hey, good morning.
Okay, so these guys, Bonnie, that are on are brand new executives. But I know that you kind of had a little bit of time off this year. So I wanted you to hop on because when I get your messages, I'm like, oh my gosh, I think this would be so good for you because I think we can do this with you too and build an executive on top of your executive. So, and get you to 5-star. So I wanted you to be on, if that's okay.
Yeah, for sure. I was just it was perfect time, and I was just getting up.
Awesome. Good. So what we're going to be focusing on is we're going to be focusing on A, personal enrollments, and B, developing executives. So personally enrolling and rank advancing those personally enrollments to consultant, and then on developing executives. Those are the two things we're going to focus on. I'm going to be much more bold this time around because when just some background, when I was trained in network marketing, and Bonnie and I came from the same training, I was trained as a people builder, not as a product seller. I was trained as a people builder. So know that that's my roots. But naturally, I was trained to sell because my dad was a salesman. So I was selling stuff when I was like 5 years old, legitimately. Like I was working the store when I was 5. Like I'm not even just like saying that. Like they made me work. I was child labor. And anyway, and so I do have the sales background, but I will tell you that in network marketing, after this year that I've been through, I know from my toes to my head that the way that you make long-term residual money that does not go away is by developing leaders, by developing executives. This is why sometimes you might see on chats where there's like chat. This is how I talk to 100 people in a month, and this is how blah, 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 blah. You might almost see me blowing past that or blowing that off a little bit because I don't want to, and I'm not going to teach you to work 40 hours a week selling stuff to people because that does not create a residual income. That creates a job like any other 40-hour-a-week job. Because if all you do is personally recruit and all you do is sell, there's no deep residual income. It doesn't build people, and it really doesn't build your future. It gives you now money. And so I'm not into that. Like I didn't get into network marketing for that. I'm not going to train that. I think it's amazing if someone's a great personal recruiter, but you make income, deep residual income, by developing people. And so we're going to be focusing on those two things. Personal enrollments with the intention of building consultants, not of getting PIBs. PIBs should just be a bonus because you got it. You shouldn't live on PIBs, shouldn't rely on PIBs. PIBs are just, that should be your purse money, like not, your new purse money. We're looking for big girl pay, right? Like multi-6-figure income. That comes through developing people. Now, but at the same time, I'm not going to bury my head in the sand and think that whenever you enroll 10 people and move them all to consultant, that they're all going to stay at consultant. That's not going to happen either. You're going to there's ebb and flow in this. And so that shouldn't take you by surprise that you develop 10 people and somebody falls off or 5 people fall off. That is typical. So you've got to keep that pipeline going. Now, does there come a point when your consultants get in, stick, and stay? Absolutely. And you do have way more control over that than what you kind of think that you do because that's based upon your activity and how you're working. If you're developing your team, and there's a lot of momentum coming on and going down that leg, those consultants will go nowhere because they want to get paid on that activity, but continue to order because they want to bank volume. And so that's really, really beneficial. So I really feel like, and I know that we've come through the summer months. I mean, really, if I were to be honest with you, these last 2 weeks of July typically are most difficult. The last 2 weeks of July, the first week of August typically would be our most difficult weeks in network marketing, but we're flying right through them. Raise the roof, praise God. It's been amazing because our company is, they know the ebb and flow, and they're really doing some correction with the free codes and, getting ready to do a massive product launch. All of that's really helping. But And so I know that we've been through that. We're kind of going through that a little bit of a lull. So if you're feeling a lull or you feel a little bit of a drag right now, that's normal. I mean, we're doing great, but that's normal. If you're doing great right now, wait till September comes, because that's, you know, September and October all the way up until Thanksgiving would be what I call the fall frenzy. That's the build time. We will build a lot of momentum, then we'll go into the holidays, and then we'll come out of January and it's like game on. So we're coming up here on a couple of really good months. But that's a ramble. Here's what I want to talk about then. All right, here we go. So here's the training. It's on my phone. So the first thing that you've got to do is you've got to get obsessed about building executives. I am obsessed about it. You know how the Bible says that a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. I'm not moved. When something fancy comes along, some new idea, some little thing, I don't get off on it and go do that. I love this. We were at Rise Up Retreat. Bonnie was there, and there was a girl from stage talking about this thing called MailChimp. Oh my gosh, I email every single person on my team, and I tell them whenever a shake is going to come out. And there were all these new executives that were like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do that too. I'm going to do that too. But then at my table, I was sitting there with other multi-six-figure producers, and they were all like, I am not doing that. Because if I go spend my time doing that, I'm taking my time off of building people. So I'm not moved by these ideas that come through. I'm not moved by all this new stuff. There's one thing that I focus on, and one thing I believe that you should focus on, and that's developing executives. Your mindset, what you're looking for at all times is you are looking for people to develop to executive. That's what you're looking for. You want to get an eye for design. You want to get an eye for a leader, because I will say this until the day that I die. Leaders are not made, they are found. And do I think people can be developed? Can they self-develop? Are there things that can happen? Absolutely. But every single person on here, Jessica, Kelly, Casey, Tammy, Bonnie, Lee, all of you, I didn't develop any of you. Your mom and dad developed you. Does that make sense? You came to me who you are. And then all you did was brought what you are, who you already were, beside me. You're looking for people that are like you. I think so many times what happens is we try to take people that don't really have leadership qualities, and we're trying to take a square peg and put them in a round hole. But what you're doing is you're looking for other leaders to develop to executive. Out of the other side of my mouth at the same time, I use the product every day. I work out every day. I believe in the health benefits. I share it. I train it. I talk about it. But my pocketbook is finding other leaders that have a passion to do what I'm doing, because then when I'm gone, not here, away, they're still excited. They're still working. Does that make sense, guys? So you've got to really wrap your mind around that. So no matter what comes my way, I'm not moved. I'm not moved by anything, because I'm looking for executives. And so you want to get obsessed about it. And this is why it is so important that you are feeding your mind. So I love being around like if I'm talking to Hillary or CV or Barb or some of those higher producers, because what I'm realizing is they're all people builders. But if I'm talking to people that are product sellers, then it's almost like I want to go that direction. And so you've got to get obsessed. So really, really feeding your mind right now where you're at, that is the most important. Feeding your mind right now where you're at is the most important thing you can do, because your team is going to begin to pull on you if they haven't already. We're going to talk about this as we go through. Not today. This is another topic. But your team will pull on you. I mean, they're going to say things like, I think I might quit. This isn't for me. What's wrong with me? Even your best leaders, you're going to have wall-kicking moments where they're pulling on your energy. Like Courtney messaged me and said, I don't know if this is for me. But I know that when she says, I don't know this is for me, I know she doesn't want me to go, yeah, maybe it's not. She doesn't want that. You know what I mean? She wants me to say, okay, let's get on the phone. Let's get Kelly on the phone. Let's talk through it. That's what she's really wanting, right? And so, but in order to be able to give out, you've got to have yourself really, really filled up. And that's why, as I will tell you this, I listen to Grant Cardone 30 minutes every single day. And I know he cusses, and I know that he's super worldly and all of that, but I listen to him 30 minutes every single day because he's obsessed. And he's obsessed with his goals. And because he's obsessed with his goals, it helps me to stay obsessed. Because I really don't have anyone within a 30-mile radius of me that is obsessed about becoming independently wealthy as I am. Does that make sense? There's nobody. Nobody. Not a soul. Like, my husband's pretty excited at this point about our income. And if I said to him, I'm ready to stop and move to the lake and retire on what we have, he would be like, game on, if that makes sense. Like, he's ready. And so I don't have anybody within that 30-mile radius that is obsessed. And so feeding my mind, guys, I mean, I don't know how important to tell you that is. Like, if you spend 30 minutes, I don't care, in your car, whatever, and I choose Grant Cardone. I do. Like, I really do. And I do other things, like I do devotionals and all of that, but I need somebody hardcore really going after their goal that I can listen to. Now, here's what needs to happen. You need to be a leader. I was on the phone yesterday with one of CV's team members, and CV was like, hey, can you just talk to this person? And she said, my team, they just don't want it. I can't get them to want it. This one guy, he used to be a teacher. Now he's doing all this. He doesn't have time. Then this girl makes signs for a living, and she feels like she's taking time away from her family. They just don't want it. And this is what I said to this associate, she's a director right now. I said, have you heard the phrase, either the tail is wagging the dog or the dog is wagging the tail? And she said, yeah. And I go, right now, the tail is wagging the dog. Your team is wagging you. They're telling you why they can't, how they can't, and you're taking it. You're like, yeah, but it's got to flip. You've got to be in their ear leading. And so you've got to know, who is it on your team that has the potential to become an executive? Now, I do that first and foremost before I go personal recruit. First thing in the morning, who do I have on my team that could go executive? Because that's my pocketbook. Because if I have high quality leaders on my team that I have not gotten to where I need to get them to, or who have their hands up, and yet I'm going to go out and look for more people. I mean, I'm always looking. I focus on those executives first. So who is it on your team that you believe could be an executive? Don't go to, Bonnie, you're the only one that applies here, but I'm going to say it with the same. Don't go to the people that have already been executive that are giving you excuses. If you have already been executives on your team, they have had the same training you have. They have the same opportunities that you have. They have the same upline that you have. They have Hillary. They have me. They have CV. They have Sean Scott. They have everything that you have. And if they are not moving with they have shared legs. If they are not moving with what they have, they are not your key person. So you're looking for who is fresh, who is new, who has said that they want it, but yet they're not moving on it, and you believe they have that quality. Take inventory of who you already have and write it down and look deep. You're not necessarily looking at personally enrolled, who's 1, 2, 3, 4 levels deep from you. You actually get paid the most on 4 levels deep. Because if you develop level 4, that pushes everyone's cycles up. I mean, I look at, say, for example, Lee and Casey, they're 4 levels deep. So if I'm helping Lee and Casey, that's helping then Kelly, that's helping them Paula, that's helping then Angel. So I just drove cycles up 4 levels deep, which that's what impacts my pool bonus. And so look deep in your team for talent. It doesn't have to be 1 level or 2 levels. Who's 4 levels deep? And who is 1 level, 2, and 2 levels and 3 levels? But go down into your 4th level and look who is awesome. And then you're going to figure that out. And then what you're going to do is we're going to cast vision. So you want to make a list of and I think I have you guys do it, but I never explain why. So you should have already at this point. If not, we're going to go back and do it. You're going to make a list of who could be awesome. It cannot be anybody that's already been an executive because they've already had this training. So who would be awesome? Then what you're going to do is you're going to get them on the phone and are on a Zoom. And initially, I'm going to do the first 10 of these with you, just like we did 10 product training calls. I'm going to do your 10 first vision Zooms with you. You're going to get them on. And I'm going to talk about with your key people, I'm going to sell you. I'm going to sell why it's amazing to be on your team. And then I'm going to sell the opportunity. So you're going to do that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get a commitment from those people. Some of you, that's where we're at. Some of you, we've already done that. Some of you, we haven't. Once we get a commitment from who's going to move up, then we're going to then do individual vision calls with them. Okay? And we're going to talk on our next training about how we do individual vision calls. But the first things first is you've got to take inventory of who could be an executive. Now, you want no more than 5. People will say things to me like, Amy, how about 7? I have 7. Narrow it down. 5. Only 5 people. And if you don't have 5, if you only have 2, you're better off only talking to those 2 than talking to 5 people and 3 of them are hodgepodge. Does that make sense? Like we're better off taking 2 amazing people than 2 amazing people and 3 people that we talked into it. I don't know if that makes sense. Because let's get real for a minute. If you have 2 tube stars, 1 on your left team and 1 on your right team, that's going to make you a 3-star. And I know Bonnie can vouch for that. Jessica, like if we were to get really real about this and really look at your numbers, we've got Christy on one side who now has Christina moving up and somebody else moving up. And that's amazing. So, of course, we're going to do what we can to support Christy and help Christy. But then you're looking at over on your right, Christy's going to go 2-star. Like, that's going to happen. I know that we're putting, you're going to be placing on her to help her to do that too. But in all reality, and we are not going to put all of our eggs in Stephanie's basket. But if Stephanie did get this done, it would put you at 3-star. That's how simple it is.
Stephanie gets this done.
What?
You said when Stephanie gets this done.
Yes. Yeah. That does put you at 3-star. Of course, you're not going to rely on anyone. I rely on no one because people will always disappoint. But anyway, so that's really what you're looking for. We're going to dig into this. But what I'd love to see from you guys and just clarify this. I know some of us, we've already started on some of this. I know Jessica, we have Kelly, we have Casey, we have Tammy, we're kind of in the middle of it. But really look at who are those 5 people on your team. If you have 5, if you only have 2, only send me 2. If you only have 1, only send me 1. Who could you develop? Who could be awesome? And I want you to send that to me. And then we're going to dig in, first of all, to the group. Some of us are already in the middle of that. And then we're going to dig in individually, and I'm going to help you start developing them. At the same time, nothing changes with your personal work. You guys are already dynamic. I mean, you're going to keep doing what you're doing on your social media. That's what's gotten you to where you're at already. So you're going to keep doing that. Keep posting. Keep bringing in new people. Keep using the product. Keep working out. Keep doing all those things that you've already done. And then we're going to add this piece because we're going to drive volume. The company's going to launch out a 2-star retreat for anyone that is at 2-star by January 1st. And you guys are all going to be there. We're not going to miss that. And so we're ahead of the game. Sean told us early. We started working on it early, and we're going to get you guys done, right? Yeah, I'm excited. Okay, so I want you guys to send me that, and then tomorrow we're going to dig in and we're going to talk about what the skeleton of that vision call, because I want to train you guys how to do it. We're going to talk about the skeleton of the group vision call, the skeleton of the individual vision call tomorrow. Okay?
Okay.
If you guys take notes, put them in note format because I don't have anything in place for all this like I do everything else. And it would be really awesome if we can get an executive page on our team page. But yeah.
I'll be driving on every call.
It's okay, Lee. That's perfect. It's perfect. All right, guys. Let me know if you have questions. I'm excited.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Be careful, guys.